It's been over a decade since Lucasfilm was sold to Disney, and it's pretty obvious at this point that there's a lot of Star Wars fans out there that are very upset with the current state of Disney Star Wars. Some have been that way for quite some time. Some are finally giving up hope with some of the disasters we've seen on Disney+. But it turns out it's not just Star Wars fans that are saying things like, wow, there's really too much garbage out there, and they've really done a disservice, and they've done damage to the Star Wars brand. It's also former Star Wars stars like Liam Neeson, who obviously played Qui-Gon Jinn. Liam Neeson says the Star Wars fandom is a cult and Disney is diluting the brand. Quote, there are so many movies and spinoffs now. Now, we're going to listen to the whole quote. He does say it is a cult because just how obsessed Star Wars fans are, and I don't think that's necessarily meant in a super negative way. I think he's just saying people are really passionate about Star Wars, and they are. It had cult following, but to a massive, massive level. It's one of the great things about the Star Wars fandom. But the specific quotes about there's so many movies and spinoffs now, I think they're diluting the brand. I honestly, when I saw these headlines, I thought that this was a rehash of something that he had said months ago, because I remember what he said months ago while he was on a show with Paul Rudd, who was at the time promoting Ant-Man and the Wasp 3. Liam Neeson got asked about Star Wars and gave basically the same response, but no, this is a completely different one. This starts at the beginning of this interview with Conan O'Brien. Listen to what Liam Neeson says.
You have staked out so many areas, you've done so much great work, but you've also been, once you're in a Star Wars film, you're part of that whole lore. Do you have Star Wars fans coming up to you all the time?
Not all the time. It is a cult.
It is, yeah.
There's so many movies and spin-offs now, I think. No, you're diluting the whole thing. I think that's my personal thing. And but yeah, occasionally.
And then he does start to get into when people come up and talk to him. He says, oftentimes it's not the kids, sometimes it's the dads who want to talk to me because they're big Star Wars fans. But what he said right there, I really think they're diluting it. There's so many movies and TV spinoffs and things like that. I think they're diluting it. That's my opinion. That's what Liam Neeson said right here. This is recorded in June, but only recently released because of the whole strike and all that bullshit. Listen to what he said again. This is the second time, very publicly, he's said that he has made his opinion clear, that what they've done to Star Wars has really damaged the brand, that instead of it being a special theatrical experience, now they're shoveling so much shit out, and there's so many pointless TV series that they're trying to make into massive events that it's really diluting the brand. Listen to this question and his answer.
Are you interested in doing your own spinoff on Disney+?
No, I'm not. There's so many spin-offs of Star Wars. It's diluting it to me, and it's taken away the mystery and the magic in a weird way, you know. It was nice to do the little bit with Ewan after 25 years, 24 years, you know. We did a TV version, and I appeared in the last episode. I had 3 lines to say. 2 lines.
2 lines.
And that was cool. I loved it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Liam, I love...
It's diluting. There's so much stuff out there, so many spin-offs. It's diluting the brand. It's removing the magic from Star Wars. He's obviously not the only one that thinks that. Just look at the newest viewership numbers for Ahsoka that show not only is it half of what Obi-Wan Kenobi series, the one he's talking about that premiered just a little over a year ago, received, but also 30% off the numbers we saw for a failure like Mandalorian Season 3 when so many fans decided, wow, this is really taking a turn. I'm really checking out. I have no hope for this or for anything Disney Star Wars related. And it's interesting because I am someone who has consumed a shit ton of Star Wars content. Every video game, every book, every comic book I could get my hands on when I was just starting to become a fan, when I was growing up, like all of this stuff. I wanted Star Wars story after Star Wars story, but it's also very easy for me to admit that that's not everyone. Not everyone wants to, like every single 3 months, a new novel coming out and reading a story. A lot of people want it to be an event. They want to go see it in the theaters or whatever. And when you have each and every one of these somewhat pointless sometimes and oftentimes very shit quality shows, when they're trying to make those into big events to promote their Disney Plus streaming service, and you tune in for some dog shit like Book of Boba Fett, or you see once again characters and lore and Star Wars history be destroyed in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, or of course now what you have with Ahsoka, It turns a lot of fans off, and I think that Liam Neeson is 100% spot on for the general audience. I think it has diluted it. I think it's removed the magic from Star Wars for a lot of people, and they have seen diminishing returns when it comes to Star Wars. We saw what happened in the sequels, right? Force Awakens, boom, massive movie. Then Last Jedi lost significant amount of the audience. Rise of Skywalker lost significant amount of the audience. Now we're seeing the same thing with the Disney Plus series. And increasingly, it looks like Star Wars fans are done with Disney Star Wars in one way or the other. What do you guys think about Liam Neeson's comments? Is this diluting Star Wars? Has it harmed the brand? I think his ideas are right in line with a lot of the general population when they look at Star Wars and look at a lot of the stuff that's coming out. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.